Welcome back. It's been a while, and we are going to be playing a playthrough of the new Titan map. I have rebuilt the map with the new terrain update. I know a number of people enjoyed playing the previous version. I have tried to keep to the spirit of the original. We have completely new custom terrain, we have named regions, we have points of interest, we have a custom mining map, and a custom starting loadout, which you can see here. So we're going to start with one Mark II lander. The good thing with the Mark II lander is we used to need 2 landers to get these supplies aboard because they only had 6 slots, but we've actually got enough space here for everything to fit on one Mark II lander. So we're going to have a couple of tanks of oxygen. Oxygen is a bit of a scarce resource on Titan, so luckily the Space Agency thought to give us some of that and some water. Obviously spare welder fuel, that's going to be quite useful. So we have a crate of electrical supplies, slight modification from the vanilla loadout. There's kind of no solar power because the atmosphere is so thick, so we've got some wind turbines instead. Industrial supplies, this is a special Titan loadout, specifically to make it a little bit easier to get started. Key feature here really is the deep core miner, which is in that loadout, although for some reason it's not showing on the tooltip, but it is there. And we need some heavy cable coil because in the wind speeds we get, the wind generators can burn out the standard cable almost instantly if you get a strong gust, so not so good. Standard construction supplies, standard airlock supplies, standard survival supplies, standard hydroponics, and of course the personal lander has a limited supply of food and water. So with all that said, we are going to go for the lake bed start at Aerie Lacuna, which is an area in the northern hemisphere of Titan, quite close to the North Pole. It is at about a 73 degree inclination from the equator, so whatever that is, 17 degrees of latitude, so quite northerly. No, 73. I'm doing it the wrong way around. Anyway, it's north. We're going. Let's go. All aboard. So, challenges we're going to face with Titan is cold. It has a thick, high wind and low visibility atmosphere. It has a large quantity of volatiles in the atmosphere, the rest being nitrogen, and the temperature is right around the point at which that volatile mix is going to start freezing out into liquid ethane. So, all good fun. It's a really delightful place, and there we go, we are down. Okay, let's get out of this pod. Let's begin by opening the wrong window. Let's begin by just rationalising the storage enough and getting stuff out of this pod, because I don't really want to have to come back to it. It is of minimal use. Okay, so we can see there are some things that the Space Agency forgot to take out of our pack, like a portable solar panel. That is not going to be much use to us, but nonetheless, here we are. So you can see we're standing here just on a small rise here in the lake bed. Wow, that wind is so strong that the land is blowing around. Let's get that unloaded before it blows away, shall we? I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. Even on my test plays, so that's exciting. At least it's on flat ground now, although I was going to build slightly on the lake shore. I thought, a shoreline home would be lovely. I'm not sure this isn't a mad thing to do, but I'm going to remove the construction supplies crate, which I found the wrong way around, and bring it over to where we want to build. I'm slightly concerned it might blow away now, but there we go. Let's grab that off there with the spanner. The spanner away with G, grab the handle, let's go. Let's go back to where I was going to build, which is just on this gentle slope, because it felt like a really quite nice place to build. I liked that before the lander blew away. Right, okay, so let's get these iron frames and get something laid down. So I'm gonna here. Okay, it's not quite as nice a gentle slope as I thought. It's not quite positioned how I would have liked, but there we go. Right, let's get this done. So let's start laying out foundations out the front, so we've got a bit of space to work. Oops. You need to be quite frugal with these frames because the atmosphere here is, as you can see, 275 kPa. Building with walls is not going to withstand that. So let's just get some, whoops, laid in. We'll weld these in a minute, but one thing I've learnt the hard way is that with this thick atmosphere and low gravity, you've got to be a little bit careful about how you build things, because once you start welding, everything blows around. So we're actually going to build this in a possibly slightly unconventional way compared to how I would normally put together a base. Right, that's going to be the inside here, so I'm going to pop up some walls. Whoops. So I'm trying to balance on the edges of these. Less success than I would have liked. Let's go there then, I don't mind. It's got to be done. There. And there. There. And there. And, fell off. Try the jetpack, we might play around too much to make it useful. There we go. Now you might think I'm mad leaving the back edge open there given what I've just said, but there is method to my madness. Plan, such as one exists, is that I'm going to have enough iron to be able to extend that backwards before I have it fully pressurized. I think I may have done this wrong, but that should be close enough. Right, let's go get some more stuff off here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just lay down some single weld flooring so that I've got a flat surface to put things down on. Things don't weigh quite so much, so let's get that done. Come on. Thank you. You might wonder why I'm building the outside the way I am. It's because I'm not supposed to put that miner down that's not right in my front yard. But I know I'm not going to have the resources to put it very far away. To first weld on these frames, it's possible I may need to strip the first weld out around the airlock. But I don't really trust things not to blow away. Okay. Good. Let's get the floor done. So obviously at the moment there's absolutely no air tightness to any of this, but I don't want there to be, because once I start welding up solid frames it's going to blow me around all over the place. There you can see already there's some liquid volatiles forming inside these frames and on them and just kind of everywhere. Welcome to Titan, basically. Right, let's drag this back over here. We're going to try and put something resembling a backboard on. So, where's the walls? There they are. Right, now this is very much a temporary wall, but I'm going to put it as a window. Because if I don't manage to implode it, that will actually be useful later. I'm going to put the greenhouse. Plus it's going to give us a bit of glass, which we've got plenty of, so that's good. Right. Where's the glass? There it is. Okay, so this bit we will close in. So now what we've got is something which is absolutely not airtight, but is semi-enclosed. But I'm going to go get everything else I can off this lander and dump it in there before the lander blows away or something silly. No, I don't need the welder, the wrench. So let's grab that. Come on, let's go. So it's not exactly a secure way to do it, but at least I know everything's kind of together. Once we get this classified as a room, the game engine will apply Earth gravity to it automatically, which is not entirely realistic, but it's also not entirely unhelpful in the circumstances. I don't think I want to put the wrench inside the air tank. I think I'd just like to pick the air tank up. Do not blow away. I do not wish to lose my oxygen. The wind's dropped a bit for a minute. That won't last. Right, let's get these in here. Just go anywhere, I don't care. Get it out of the way. Tidy up later. Right, there's one in the top here, I think, isn't there? Oh no, that's a thruster. There is one in the top there, let's grab that. That was actually quite well behaved. There we go. In there, you can see these things flying around all over the place as you get evaporation and condensation on the surface. Obviously, already got power low, but that's okay. We'll fix that. In fact, what I might do is just turn off my headlamp because I don't really need it. It will save quite a bit of power, and running out of power is basically instant death on here, as with many of the other very hot or very cold worlds. It's picking up again. Actually, I'm going to leave the industrial supplies. It's the very last thing I want to move. I do want the electrical supplies though. Could probably try and carry two at a time, but in this gravity I don't really trust that that's going to work. I'll probably just end up causing total destruction, so we'll play it safe, I think. Anything here, almost done. So I think we've got another oxygen tank and a water tank to bring in, and industrial supplies, and I think we are done. So just to confirm, that side is empty. This side, I think there's one up the top, which will be the water, and there's that oxygen tank. Oh wait, no, come on, I'm drifting too much now. Ah, God. Right, come on. Here we go. Oh, of course, the handles on the liquid tanks in the middle, not the top. Come on. Ah! This is actually incredibly difficult. I'm being blown around all over the place. Throw that in there. Right, we get oxygen tank next. Oof. Okay, thought that had done something unpleasant to me for a second. A significant cause of death on testing has been wind-related accidents, shall we say, where I have been blown into bits of rock, clipped into various things, just anything that's really related to having a thick atmosphere and low gravity. Right, let's double check. Sure we haven't left anything in here. No, we are good. Okay. It's just that one. Let's grab that then. Come on. Okay, missed first time, but I got it second. And this one I'm going to do something very slightly different with. Drop it here. The reason I'm going to drop it here is you can see the flashlight doesn't reach very far. I will probably need to do another tweak on those settings and white as I want What I'm looking for here is the survival supplies, because in here we have kit with a container mount, so I'll unpack that. And I'm actually going to put one down here like this and spin it round, and I'm going to lock that in there. And of course I don't have any space left, but hopefully I can still use the wrench to attach that. Is that going to recognise? No, it's not. Of course it's not. There we go. Give it a little bit of a bash. There we go. Right, okay. And the reason I've done that is a lot of what's in here is ending up over there. However, before we do that, let's deal with the fact we're going to run out of... Actually, I'll put this down so we've got a bit of a placeholder. Let's get this the right way around. That's the wrong way around. Let's turn it around and I'll just dock it right to the platform here. No, come on. Oh my god. Why is it being so fiddly? Go in. Go in. Go here. Is that right? Can't even tell if that's right. No, that's not right. No, that is not. Drill? No, of course it's not the drill. It's the wrench. Right, it's there, but I want one closer. Come on. No, not too closer, just one. Oh. Right, okay, this is not going to work. I'm going to have to actually knock some. Oof. See, I'm already getting buffeted around. Right, come on. Go in there. What is wrong with you? Wait, just go. That's it. Oh my god. Right. Okay, so that gives us a bit of a framework for how everything's going to fit together. But we are going to need power. We're going to need it reasonably soon. So let's get on with this. Swap that for that. Get back inside. Okay, let's go. Now I'm going to put the wind turbines on the roof. I've tried a few different designs over playtesting, but I think I like them on the roof, except for the fact it does sound a little bit like there's a steam engine running when you're playing, but there we go. I'm going to put them on that end. There's space for a fourth one once we've built it. We're going to lay in the cable up here, and here. Down there. Whoops, I'm going to get blown all over the place is what I'm going to do. I'm going to come down here. Okay, now, a couple of things we want to do here. So, I want one that goes through there, because at some point we want an inside battery. One that goes through there. We also need to run a spur that can end up down there, because we have to put the solid generator somewhere. So, we'll run that probably along here. Actually, I want to leave a bit of space on the edge for later on. In fact, thinking about it, I'm going to want to put one here because I'm going to want an APC on that wall. So we'll just connect that there, and we will. Oops, do that. Okay, it's looking a bit crazy at the moment, but it will start to make more sense as we go. Let's just connect that up, and it's probably the most efficient bit of cabling I've ever done, but if it works, it works. There, and that one can come straight down here. Let's do that, and over the top there. And this one can go in here. You see what I mean about the steam engine now? I can see a crate blowing around out the corner of my eye, so we need to deal with that pretty quickly. However, that's that laid in there. We'll figure out the solid generator in a bit. Right, okay, I actually think the next thing we probably ought to do here is to get a door put on, because this is becoming chaotic. And we need to just sort it out. I want those APCs because I want to be able to charge some batteries. So we're going to put one there. Whoops, all the way up. There we go. We're going to put one here. So it's inside the airlock. Power critical. seems like not a moment too soon. Problem is, in this cold weather, the batteries do not hold their charge terribly well. Actually, I'm surprised that's 98%, but I think it's probably because it's in the crate. Let's slam that one in there, that one in there. Okay, now we know we've got two batteries that are actively charging. I'm also going to put a battery charger into the airlock. I think that'd be a useful place for it. I'm going to put that there. Should work. So let's just connect that up there. Right, and flip that one up, I'll forget it. Right, okay. Now there's one more thing I want to do with heavy cable whilst I've got no balls in, which is to put a spur through here, because at some point we're going to put batteries into this corner. We don't need to worry about that just yet. Okay, solid generator, let's just get that down and get it out of the way. That way round. I'll figure out how to connect that in a bit, but broadly going to do it there. And we will ultimately be putting a transformer onto there. But in the short term, I'm going to put another spur there for powering the inside of the base. And bring this along here. This is why we'll need a little bit of fancy footwork, shall we say, with the heavy cable to connect up the solid generator, but that's okay, we'll figure that out in a minute. So, I've got wire cutters on the other hand. Let's get it done. Put that one to there. Bring this cable down here. Cut those there, and then I'm going to bring the whole assembly away from the door. Just to give myself a little bit of space to move here. Connect this across here. Because we're connecting more devices over this side. Leave some space because I'm going to put an arc furnace in, so I'll need a bit of width for that. Along here. And actually, while my job, I'm going to need to connect this, so I'm going to do that along here. Right along the edge, because I think we're going to need to make space. We'll need a centrifuge in here in a bit. I'm not sure exactly where that's going to fit for the connections, so... Oh, wrong button, that's amazing. Just when at least it wasn't too windy. Wind's actually dropped, it's kind of peaceful. So we're just going to run this right along here. I do wish they'd make multi-segment cables the same as multi-segment pipes and chutes. I'm hoping that that will happen in a release soon. That would make this sort of thing much easier. Right, I'm not quite sure where I'm going to put which machine over here, so that's why I'm kind of taking a slightly strange route, but I think I'm going to want to tuck the arc furnace in here to reduce the chances of stuff blowing away. So we'll do something like that. Right, so that's kind of all connected. In fact, a pretty good early job would be this is where we start to see things that you'll go, what on earth are you doing? Why have you not built anything resembling a hab yet? You're doing this, but I'm doing this as 5 separate ones because I'm going to want a stacker in here later. I know I could have used the bigger thing, but I want to get this lot set up and positioned as early as possible. So, back there. And we're going to weld this. Get this deep miner running so that we start to get some useful... Whoa, there we go. Welding things is fun. Oh, I don't particularly press downwards to try and land in this. Right, there we go. And we'll just weld that. Gets rid of the steel sheets, gets them out of the way. Here, let's fix up where those connectors need to go. Shouldn't be too tricky, I just need to going to connect both power and data because later on I want to automate this centrifuge. There we go. Right, go up. Okay. And we'll to build this. The electronics parts. Let's just grab that. Just stack it. Put that away. Electronics parts and this. Great. Get that running. Okay. I forgot to flick the switch over there, didn't I? So I want to flick that switch so that it literally starts the whole system running. Oh, come on. Seriously. What is wrong with you? There we go. We should just be able to throw that switch. We should be starting to drill. Yes, we are. Good. Okay. That's good. That can sit in the background. Now, some of the other bits and pieces that we've got in this kit, you might be wondering why we've got a liquid drain and a cowl. We are going to use those as a means to start to clear some of the... Where's the airlock supplies crate? Of course, it's behind everything else. Starts to clear some of the volatiles that will be in this room. Let's try and put some of this stuff down. See if we can actually get this thing built. Right. Okay. This is going to go up here. This is going to go here. Go back that way. Right, I'm going to grab the doors as well, because that will reduce the chances of anything blowing away. Ah! Okay, apparently I'm not going to grab the doors. It didn't want me to. Right, okay. Right, we're going to use composite doors on this airlock. They should just about hold up. Right, that at least means that the remaining gap for things to blow out is quite a lot smaller. Let's tuck that disc in there. It's just out of the way. Right, now then. So this one here, we're going to put a simple pipe. For here, we're going to put a pipe. Oh, come on. Here. But I'm also going to put a pipe through over here. Whoops. Okay. These things have got other ideas. And I'm going to do is I'm going to put... Cowl is not as good as a passive vent, but it's better than nothing. Put that on there. Come on. Out of my way. I wish to exit. Oh my god. The wind is so strong every time I let go of anything it blows away again. I think we need to start closing up those doors now. Right, where's the construction supplies? Probably under that lot. Yes, they are. That and that. Take those as well while I'm over here. That was the 50 stack. Good. Okay. If I had a spare hand, I'd get those done, but I don't. So, right. Okay. Got to actually deploy some of this stuff. So we're going to sneak in under here, find that pipe, add another couple of lengths to it. We're going to stick a liquid drain on there. Make sure it's pointing outwards. Go. So anything that gets in that pipe that condenses is going to run out of that drain. Just outside. Oh, down draft. I couldn't jump then. Right, okay. So let's now actually weld up enough on these doors that we can do something sensible. Wire up the airlock. So let's go. Oops. There for a sensor. We're going to put one of them there. Oh, we've got one. We'll have one there. We'll have one there. One there. There. quicker, but it wasn't. There, there. Straight one there, straight one there, straight one there, straight one there. Corner it there, corner it there. That's the airlock wired up. Yep, looking good. Okay, and let's get that. Switch that. Let's see if we can make this realise it's a room. Should have flipped the switch. No. What have I not connected? Oh yeah, the one behind there. Okay, there we go, we have doors. Right. Okay, I think we now have gravity in here. Things certainly seem to be a little bit less prone to blowing around, although not entirely. Good.
Hydration critical.
Okay. Now we'll seal this up. Actually, one more thing to do, because with this thick atmosphere I don't really want to take the risk. I don't know why I shut that door, we didn't need it shut yet, but there we go. I want to get this up on here. Whoops, I had it and then I lost it because I got blown around. There we go, right, okay. Right, now I do want things closed, because now we're going to actually weld some stuff. Let's get this done. Let's think about how to do this, because it's going to make it blow around. So we're already getting nice walls of ethane building up, delightfully. Not at all a fire hazard, this planet. Probably, I should say. Oof. Okay, now if I've done this right, hopefully this should blast them back the other way. Or not, maybe it'll blast them into me. Oh, I haven't done this end, that's why. And finally, that one. Amazing. We have a room. It is sealed. I mean, it's... I'm standing in 5 litres of flammable fluid, but, you know, it's a room. So we'll take the win. Right, we'll also take the arc furnace and the auto lathe. And let's just actually just try and tidy up a little bit. Let's probably stack them on there. Nice. Okay, we're going to use these walls to try and reduce the amount of stuff blows around outside. Still quite a bit that we haven't needed to use, but we will soon enough. Let's get this over here. Right, nothing needing that for a minute. I don't think I needed that one for a minute either, in fact. Oh no, I do need that. There we go. Good. And then that's an airlock constructed. Right now we can, if we need to, vacuum this, and we actually have somewhere that we can eat and drink, but I'm not going to do that until I need to, because I've still got quite a bit to do. Good news is, whilst I've been busy doing that, the centrifuge hopefully has been receiving some, maybe not. Oh, we're probably out of power. We are indeed out of power. Okay. It's not great. I'm going to have to do a little bit of flipping around of these things now. Did I miss a piece of cable? feel like I must have done, because this doesn't seem like it's connected. Whoa! I missed a bit of cable, that's the problem there. But, okay. Not ideal. It's because of where I put that through, I didn't really notice that. Okay, this is a bit more of a problem. Maybe not. Do that, and then that. Yes! And then that. There we go. Right, it's pretty dark out here now. Hopefully this is starting to charge now. Of course, now the power dies. Rather. Okay, so let's also just rig this up. Because it's quite useful to have an emergency generator. Hoping I won't really need it too much, but okay, that's charging now. Good. Oh, cool. Yeah, I was right the first time. Go. Okay, good. So that's now charging. So hopefully the miner will be mining. To get the arc furnace down here somewhere about there. Yeah, let's tuck it right in tight to the side of the building. Reduces the chance of stuff blowing away very slightly, if only because it means there's one less direction it can blow in. This is a bit of a temporary position. I think we'll build a proper structure for the machines in a bit. Right, now what we're going to do is we're going to use these walls to create a bit of a temporary structure. So stop doing this, even though they're not filled in, you see I can walk on them. But there's a more important thing. Oops. Which is that, whoops, don't know why I'm worrying too much about getting them the right way around, this is temporary, which is that they will stop any ingots or anything from blowing away completely. So that acts as a little bit of a fence. I'm not going to fill them in, don't have the iron sheets to do that anyway, but I just want enough structure here that it reduces the number of places things can get blown to. There we go, and I think we'll have one more. There we go. So now we've got a little bit of an enclosure. That's spinning up. The drill hasn't, because of my little wiring accident, hasn't yet started doing anything useful. I was kind of hoping that by now we'd be starting to actually get something coming through, but there we go. Pop that in there for now. Again, this is not a long-term position for it. Let's get that done. Let's get that welded. Let's get it cabled. Let's get it actually cabled. Connect it up. Just going to connect power. We don't need data on it at this stage. I will want data on it as soon as I can, but this is getting moved before then, so the less I connect, the less there is to disconnect later. There we go. Okay, so now we've got some basic manufacturing capability. We have some power generation running. We have space we can eat and drink. Let's grab that advanced airlock circuit board out of there. Drop it in there. And complete that. go. So it's day 2 and we have the basics of a shelter. This is running. I don't know if it's yet received anything. Oh yeah, there we go. It's starting to process up some ore. So we'll just let that run in the background. Now daytime is actually not an unreasonable proposition to go out and do a bit of mining. We're going to need to because it'll take forever if we don't. Just need to be super careful we don't get lost. One thing I am going to do is grab some coal for the emergency generator. Hydrocarbons I should say, I forgot to change belts. Let's grab that. Be super careful mining in this. Oh, pick up, go. So grab these. Should be enough to get topped up. Right, definitely not something to try once it becomes dark. It's very difficult to see what on earth is going on. But let's go and see if we can find some. There are bits of iron and other metals around, just not very many. There we go, there's an iron deposit. And finding one of them early is a bit of a game changer, because otherwise you're waiting really quite a long time for your first iron to come through in any sensible amount. So that's good. The deep mining here is balanced to give a bit of everything, just because exploration is so difficult, but it will ever so slow if you don't go out and actively mine some stuff. If you move to other regions, standard deep mining rules apply. It's just the core lake bed itself and a couple of other regions on the map that have the mix. So if you start on the lake bed start, you can use the deep miner. If you choose the ridge or you choose Vac Cove, then you will need to do more exploration and mining. Be careful mining in this high, I forgot to bring my tape as well, that's a recipe for disaster, high density, low gravity, because you tend to get slammed into rocks. Be extra careful with explosive mining, because you can get sucked back in your face if you're not careful. Right, okay, that's enough for now. Let's get out of there before it gets dark. I do not fancy being in a hole at night. And we'll get back to base, and that's probably a good place to stop for the first video. I think we are just about the end of day 2. So let's get in here. Let's drop some into there, ready to be used. You'll see I've got quite a decent amount of iron out of that. But I'm now very quickly going to duck in here. I'm going to vacuum this out so that I can quickly eat and drink. The other interesting and fun feature in here is that depending on the time of day, we actually haven't got too much, but you can quite easily find quite a lot of liquid volatiles forming, which the standard airlock chip, circuit board rather, is not going to suck out for you. So that's a little hazard to avoid. When you press the button, it cycles the airlock, and then as soon as the oxygen-rich internal atmosphere comes through, it then vaporizes the volatiles, creating an explosive mix and blows your base up. I speak from experience. So, we'll have a little drink and a little eat, and I think then that is a sensible place to end this video. Cognition low indeed, probably cognition low for even choosing to come to Titan, but there we go, what can I say. Anyway, that's probably enough for the first video. That is the first 2 days, and we have a kind of functioning base. So I will leave it there, and I hope to see you on the next video.